Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another morning coffee talks. What's today? Thursday? It's Thursday. It's a pretty good morning so far. But man, yesterday I had an interesting day. It was a pretty long day at work. And just being out in the field, just talking to people, touching grass, as they say, right? Um, just being out in the world, it really I get to see a lot of different men, right? And come across a lot of different guys. And I understand now, man, why some men rise and others stay stuck. And the thing about it is not talent, man. It's not luck. It's just truly the way they think. It truly is. And what I've come to notice is not even notice, man, just a good reminder because, as I'm leveling up and I'm getting more successful, I share y'all I share with y'all my experiences and things that I'm going through, my growth factor, my challenges, my setbacks, my opportunities. And I truly believe that successful men believe in possibilities, what could be. And the failed man out there, the man who is still lost in the sauce, like I like to say, they only see limitations, what can't be. And so I really want to talk about how the way you think can either build you up or break you down in this life. And there is such thing, there's a mind state basically of possibility versus limitation, right? Successful men, they look at problems, they see a solution, and they always look for the answer. You know, they don't see a roadblock. Failed men look at the same problem, but they see a dead end, and they do see a roadblock. So when you do hit a roadblock, how do what's the question to yourself? Do you see an opportunity or do you see an obstacle? And I think that's the mind state gap that when it comes to the possibility versus the limitation. Also, I've talked about this multiple times. Successful people speak a certain language. And I think that the language that you speak um, is what can predict your path in life. When it comes to life, right, and how you speak things into existence, I believe a successful man says, look, I can figure this out. And then, but when it comes to a failed man, they say, well, I can't do this. It's always the limiting beliefs versus the abundance mind state. How do you talk to yourself daily through actions, through just self awareness? That becomes your reality. And I know a lot of times this type of stuff, again, sounds woo woo. It goes over people's head. It sounds crazy, but it's the truth, man. It is. You have to you have to look beyond what's in front of you, right? You have to replace the I don't know how with I'll find out how. You have to change your actions through your language, through your tongue. You know, there's this quote. I don't remember it verbatim, but it was like something about the tongue can speak life or it can speak death. This is like a long old '90s. I heard it back in the '90s. I remember that as a child. I didn't know what it meant, but I truly know what it means today. But even with that, with speaking those possibilities, again, it requires action too, not just thought. So believing in possibilities um, are worthless without action. It's like I think a lot of us just dream, but we don't build. Right? It's like I remember saying this in another video because again, it's all related. It's like when you look at God and creating the world, right? They say in 6 days, but rested on the seventh. Every day, when you go back and read the book, right? the Bible. Every day was something different that was created. It was thought of, it was dreamed of, and then it was created. A lot of us are stuck in dreaming without creating, without building, without taking action. And I think that's where we get hung up. Everybody dreams, man. Everybody looks at what possibly could be, what they want. But the difference is, and this is it's an everyday challenge. It really is. And now I really understand why they say it gets harder when you climb into the top, because when you're at the bottom with everybody else, right? Meaning like metaphorically, mentally, everybody's down there dreaming. Everybody's just walking around at the bottom. But it's only a few people. It's only even a few people that even look up to see people climbing, right? And then there's even less. It's even less people who actually start to climb, and then there's even less people who continue to climb. There's even less people who even make it to the top. And again, metaphorically, when I say make it to the top or even start to climb this mountain or these ladders, these stairs, whatever it is, how you look at it, that's just life. It's not even about the financial. It's about your mind state, right? It's about your thoughts. How do you get out of the noise? How do you get out of the crowd? Because when they say change your environment too, when you leave from the bottom where everybody else is just at, just mingling and walking around, when you start to climb, you're in a different environment. You can look down and see the masses on how they think. But even as you look up, as you climb, there's even more people climbing. And they're in a different environment because they're at a different point of the climb. Listen, failed men stay in, what is it called? Analysis paralysis. They stay in that mind state. They stuck in the mud. And they always think about what could go wrong. I don't like getting, I never want to get political on this channel, right? But let me just say this. I was at work yesterday, right? And this is what kind of even sparked this video. There was a guy who worked, again, I service, I work with retail, right? I'm in sales. So it was this guy who works in one of the locations. And he was just saying how, Trump, everything in 2020, the 2025, whatever thing it was, that quote unquote, that was created by him. That agenda, Agenda 2025 or something like 2030, whatever it's called, right? He was like, man, Trump is hitting everything, he doing everything he said. And I looked at him and I said, okay, let's say that's true, right? Let's say that's true. How is that affecting your life right now? How is any of that affecting your life right now? It's not stopping you from building your credit. It's not stopping you from saving money. It's not stopping you from clocking in, working, right? It's not stopping you from investing. It's not stopping you from traveling. You know what I mean? It's like, how is any of that stopping you right now? If it's true. If it's true, let's say it's true. How is any of that stopping you from doing what you need to do in your life? How is that stopping you from reading a book to make yourself better? How is that stopping you from eating the right foods to make yourself healthier? How is that stopping you from going to the gym to make yourself stronger? You know what I'm saying? How is any of that stopping you? It's not. It's not, man. So that's my thing. So again, I'm not here to debate the whole anything political. My point is, it's the mind state, man. Like, too many people tapped into the wrong things. They're distracted. You have to control your own personal economy first. You have to control your money that you spend. You have to control the money you save. You have to control the money you invest. You have to control what you do in the day-to-day action, your thoughts. The fact that you keep that young man keeps harping on that, he's allowing somebody else the power to dictate his thoughts and his actions. That's so beyond the pale for him on what happened. This guy worked, dude. You don't understand, man. And I had to get this is like me years ago transforming out of that. Yes, it matters in the grand scheme of things, right? Because at the end of the day, we're all connected as far as energy wise. Like if I punch somebody in the face, that creates a ripple effect down the line somewhere, or even right then, right? But still down the line, it's still a ripple effect. So, right, the people we vote in and make decisions, there's a ripple effect somewhere down the line. Yes, it all is connected. I agree. However, what you do every day, all day, action by action, minute by minute, hour by hour, week by week, day by day, month by month, year by year, all is determined on you. We have to stop being distracted, man. We have to get out of the analysis paralysis. We have to. And so hopefully that conversation, we'll see, because it was like it was like an aha moment for him. Like, whoa, I didn't expect that response. And not that it was negative or something. It was just like, hey, snap out of it. Hey, wake up. Get out of that mind state. Right? Get out of that limiting belief. So another thing is because that's really all he harps on, it may be his environment. He may be surrounded by certain thinkers, right? And this is why it's so important that you constantly listen to positive podcasts. You listen to the successful people speaking and the way they think, right? You listen to the Tim Robbins, the Mel. It's so many people. I go down the list, man. But I'm saying these people are constantly thinking outside the box, right? And so even if you don't have physical people around you, that environment, that you can still create the digital environment of people who think around you. That's why I say listen to the podcast, listen to the positive affirmation, listen to people who who's manifesting things, right? Because if you only hang around men or environments that only see limitations, then guess what? You're gonna start to see them too. You're only gonna see limitations. So you have to make that a habit to study those who turn their possibilities into realities. So success leaves clues, man. Limitations leave excuses. That's just what it is. So I've said this again in another mirror. Life is a mirror. It reflects back exactly what you believe. So if you believe you're stuck, you will be. If you believe there's a way out, you'll find it. So it's time to think like a successful man, because the only real failure is you refusing to try to. So listen, drop a comment below. Tell me what y'all think about that. Subscribe to the Husband Code if it's your first time. If you've been watching for a while, subscribe. Also hit that like button if you got any value out of this video. Also hit the notification bell, because we constantly dropping videos like this every single day. And until next time, I appreciate y'all. Much love. Peace.